Where are you outsourcing your source? Where are you resisting surrendering to the divine plan, to your divine plan? That is what we're going to be diving into. But before we do, just a few quick announcements. If you have not already signed up for co-creatorship, we are beginning very soon. This is a very intimate program, so I'm only accepting in a few more people. And really, this is how we align all aspects of our life, our health, our wealth, our relationships, our mission, and who we are, who we came to be in this life experience, who we came to be and express as, and to really live in divine partnership and co-creation with our soul and source. This is how we align all aspects of self so that we are no longer forcing, pushing, and just trying to manipulate energy or the physical, but rather we're working with energy. We're working with the energetics. We're really working with the quantum and our infinite aspect of self, because you, my soul, my sweet friend, are an infinite soul. And what happens is we come into these bodies and we now take on and think that we have all of these limitations and all of these things that we can't do and can't be and can't achieve because XYZ and all of these things. But when we tap into our quantum self, into the quantum, and align our lives with our soul and with source, we are now operating at a higher octave, at a higher frequency. And this is truly what I desire. This is the paradigm that we are shifting into. And so if you feel the call, I would so love to go on this journey with you. All of the details for that are going to be below. So let's dive right into today's topic. So what I have been being shown is that we really have to have a chat about, a little conversation about, is a lot of people are ignoring their spiritual aspects of their self. They are ignoring the pieces and parts of them that light them up, that they're curious about, that they're desiring to understand, to really be in harmony with your real life. Quote, real life. I like, we all know it's it's what's really real, right? But this is so important because what I want to just like lay this foundation with is there's no separation. Your spiritual life and your work and your relationships and your health and your mission and who you be in the world. There is no difference. And when we can begin to actually see and integrate our spirituality and our connection with our source into all aspects of our life, this is when we now actually upgrade and expand all aspects of our life. So when I ask, where are you outsourcing source? I would invite you to just, what's like the first thing that drops in? Where are you outsourcing source? If source is your infinite, vast creator, where you came from, who has everything for you, all the solutions to all of your struggles here in this human experience, it has all of your desires. Where are you outsourcing this power, this guidance, this support in your life? Are you outsourcing it in your business? Are you outsourcing it in your healing? Are you outsourcing it in your relationships? Are you outsourcing it in your mission and who and what you came to be and do and emanate in the world? Where are you outsourcing this? And perhaps it's in the little day-to-day things. Perhaps you are feeling tired and drained and fatigued, or you're not lit up by your life, like where are you seeking in the physical to try and nourish this and fulfill this? So as I bring all of these up, I invite you to just get curious. Where am I outsourcing source? It's so funny how, and I do this all the time too, how we have these struggles and problems and issues come up and arise in our life, and we're like, I just need, uh, uh, like, this can't, I'm not having this. Like, this is awful. Why is this happening? Like, what do I do? And inevitably, this is hilarious because whenever someone comes to me, my friends who are tapped in, I always say, have you asked? Have you asked your support team? I mean, if something's coming through very clearly that I need to share, or, I'm there for my friends, but like, I always ask, have you asked? Have you asked? Have you asked for the solution, for the guidance, for the healing, for the support? And perhaps in that moment, it is to talk to someone. It is to be in a community. It is to simply just release and express. But I always bring this up because how often are we running the wheels on something? And it's so funny because I can ask someone that, but it's a very real thing when we're in it to not even like think like, source, show me how this is serving me. Show me what to do next. Show me the solution. And know, when you say that, when you ask those questions, God, source, the universe is going to show you, is going to flow in people, resources, solutions, unexpected, whatever, and show you. But this is where we have to shift our perspective to being open to viewing things in a new way. We have to be open to seeing and allowing divine source consciousness to move through us, to move through others, to move through our world in a new way so that we may see new solutions. But this takes, one, asking, and two, surrendering to source to show us and guide us, to show us and guide us. So another aspect of this that is really important to look at or be aware of is where are we resisting the change and not allowing ourselves to see the new perspective? Where in our lives are we doing this? I'm going to let you in on a huge secret that has absolutely changed my whole life. It's very simple. All the best solutions are very simple. And that is seeing all of our challenges as serving us. So whatever you're going through right now, unless everything in your life is perfect and great, in which case that's amazing. And here's the thing. I believe that we can still have like perfect and great lives and still want to grow, because I notice for myself, the more I grow and expand, truly, the better things get. I still have struggles and I still have things that I want to change and to improve and to create. However, whatever the barriers are, or whatever the lower density things that I'm still going through, choosing to see those as happening for me. Choosing to see them as happening for me. And this was like something that I think we all have heard and know at some in some capacity or some degree, but like, where can you really, really get in there and allow it? Because once it's serving you, we shift the energy. now the energy can open and expand. It's like when we see it as not happening for us, it's like we've literally put a rock, a dam in the flow of our river of creation. And we're like, oh, that was not supposed to happen. It's like, we can't, like, our divine essence and flow of creation cannot continue to go, because it's like, oh, I guess this wasn't supposed to happen. I'm done. I give up, right? And this is what happens very often. But what if instead we saw that as redirection, as like whatever's happening, it's like, oh, this was like rather than putting a rock there, it's like, oh, this is what are those things called? Like um it's like moving it's like what is that? Like a buoy, something that makes it so you just alter directions just a little bit. Like a lane in a highway. It's like a buffer. We're going to call it that because I can't think of the exact word. A buffer that comes in and is like, if you were going this way, we're just going to like, just turn you just a little bit. Okay. So this is what obstacles, challenges, struggles that arise along the way are. You're still going to get to where you want to go. It just may not look like what you want it to be. And so getting back to really integrating this into all aspects of our life. This is such a key and core component, because when we realize that how we do one thing is how we do everything. So how you are working in your life, in your business, in your relationships, in your health. Where is one redirection happening and occurring so that it influences another aspect of your life? Perhaps it's a challenge in your health, but really that health challenge is so that you do something different in your work. Or perhaps that relationship ending or that relationship getting created was so that you do something different in your health, right? Like there are all of these things that we can't really understand with our limited perspective. But this is why when we allow ourselves to be guided by source, by God, the universe, divine, now we are in the stream flowing. And while these buffers may be placed in our stream, we set the intention and then we are moved through the stream. We are moved. We don't have to force it. We are moved. We set the intention and trust that it will be so much greater than what we can imagine. And this is such a key component of integration, right? Like, are you taking the time to really allow yourself, whatever you're going through, to serve you and to integrate it? Because when you can see that everything is happening for you, everything is happening for you, and it therefore is serving whatever you are trying to create. This is how we begin to integrate it into all aspects of our life, to our spiritual life, because your life is spiritual. Your whole life is spiritual. It is not my spirituality over here and then my work and then my like 3D relationships. No, it's all spiritual. So this is really interesting, because I have noticed that as a lot of people have been growing spiritually, they're like, oh my gosh, like I hung out with this person and it was a struggle. Like, because we're just like not on the same wavelength anymore, right? That was still a spiritual experience, because you were seeing how much you have grown, and perhaps you were the seed to help inspire them to grow in in their spiritual connection with God, source, the universe. So it's all serving. It's absolutely all serving. And when we are, oh my gosh, like us being a catalyst for other people is truly one of the greatest gifts. It's one of the greatest gifts I believe that we could offer ourselves and humanity, because we are all one. So as you help others, you are helping yourself. It's just how it works, and how when you're helping yourself, you're helping others. Did I say that? And then when you're helping, yes. That's how it works. So even these situations and circumstances that don't appear to be spiritual, like perhaps your work doesn't feel like it's very spiritual right now, you are still there for a divine reason right now. Maybe you want to leave, maybe you don't want to leave, maybe you love it. It doesn't really matter, but whatever you're doing, you're there for a divine reason right now, and you have been there for a divine reason. And this doesn't mean that being spiritual means that you have to be teaching spiritual wisdom. This like literally does not mean this. Or if you're into health, doesn't mean you have to be teaching health. Or if you're into, like, we get to create all aspects of our life and infuse the spirituality into it. That's how it works. Because really, there's no such thing as a not spiritual experience. It's all spiritual. It's all spiritual. This was such a hard thing for me to really begin to conceptualize, especially when I really saw, I feel it's really important to address, like, there absolutely is a lot of pain and suffering in the world. There's a lot of pain and suffering in the world. And so that was like the thing that I've grappled with and struggled with the most, is like, how do I see everything as spiritual when like this is really hard to watch and to see happening in the world? And that's part of the experience. Polarity is part of our experience. And so much growth comes from struggle, from pain, from suffering, if we allow it to. So when we see others suffering, how could that be a catalyst for a new invention, for a new creation, for a coming together? So often through times of struggle, people come together. So often through times of struggle, there are new innovations and solutions created, right? So this isn't to say that like I endorse suffering, or that the things happening in the world are good or right. I'm not saying that, but how can we see it and shift our perspective, have a new perspective that it's all serving a purpose. It's all serving a purpose. Source, God, the divine, the universe are so precisely and perfectly made, and we are all so precisely and perfectly made in that image. And when we can allow that to permeate all aspects of our life, to no longer outsource source to this specific category or this specific circumstance or situation, how can we bring it into all aspects of our life, to all relationship, to all aspects of who we are, into all facets of our body, to all facets of our business, to all facets of our wherever we live? How may we do this? Right? And lastly, this can require some shifts in how we perceive things, how we receive things, how we give things, how we allow things. So many of us, myself included, can be very stubborn. I think it's supposed to be this way. I think it's supposed to work this way. I think I'm supposed to do it this way. And the whole time, the source is like, no, but I'm giving you these other options. that would be much easier, much more fun, much more pleasurable, much more aligned to get you to where you want to go. Where are you not seeing those other options? Where are you resisting those other options because you're so tunnel visioned that you're not opening up to the greater support that is all around you? Because the funny thing is that we have so much support all around us, and yet we get so focused on how we think it should be that we're not even like allowing the divine to carry us through, to allow us to ride through that stream, right? Of just allowing and of enjoyment and of pleasure and fun and joy. This is such a great way too. Like if you're really feeling stuck, like get in the energy of play and joy. Go play, go have fun. Like that has just been such a big key theme for myself and others and clients, is like, how do we incorporate more joy and play into our life? Because when we're in that frequency, we're in receiving mode, we're in co-creation with the universe. Like God, source, the universe wants us to delight in life. That was what I was shown so beautifully in meditation a few days ago, is God delights in you delighting. God delights in your delight. And I feel like that is the perfect note to end on. God delights in your delight. The universe loves to see you happy. Source enjoys your enjoyment. Remember that as you move about your day. Where can you be in more enjoyment, more play, more fun, more delight? And this is how we merge all aspects of our life with the divine, with our soul, with source. And if you want to take this deeper, I am so encourage you and welcome you into co-creatorship. And until next time, I'm sending you all infinite love and light.